A Valley father says he thinks that his child caught a flesh-eating bacteria after a visit to a water park.
But is that even possible? The little boy's dad says it's the only thing he did differently from his normal routine before his skin started falling off.
So Team 12's Monique Riego went to experts today to find out if your kids are at risk this summer. Monique?
Hey guys, well, when a MRSA infection is first starting out, it can look a lot like a spider bite, but leaving it untreated can have dire consequences. And we do want to warn you, some of the pictures in this story are a little graphic. When Joseph Reihle first noticed a small bump on his son Michael's hand, he didn't think much of it.
It appeared to us just to be something as small as a bug bite.
But within a day, that bump got bigger, redder, and more tender.
It went from a marble size into a blister.
Realizing it may be something more serious, Reihle rushed the 16-month-old to the hospital. Doctors gave the toddler antibiotics, but that didn't help.
As a matter of fact, we were seeing the opposite. We were seeing it progress.
Tests later confirmed Michael had MRSA, a skin-eating staph infection that was taking over his hand. The toddler has since had 2 surgeries to remove the infection.
The hand surgeon said it was so severe down into his palm muscle, they had to take a small piece of his palm muscle out.
While it's difficult for doctors to pinpoint where Michael picked up the infection, his parents have their suspicions.
There was only one thing that we did out of our normal daily routine, and that's we went to a water park.
Nowadays, we see it in public places, what we call community-acquired MRSA.
Dr. Andrew Carroll, a family physician in Chandler, didn't treat Michael, but has seen this infection before.
Anywhere there's a surface that MRSA can live on and you touch that surface, then you can contract it in that fashion.
A water park with lots of kids and exposed skin is definitely a public place. Doctors say the bacteria could spread. But since MRSA can pretty much live anywhere on anything, there's no way to know for sure. As for Michael,
everything looks good, and he will gain 100% of his hand mobility back, but they were saying 24 hours could have made a big difference between that.
And that's why Reihle wants to warn other parents who may think their kid has a bug bite when it's really something much worse. And doctors say that parents don't have to be paranoid, just take some precautions like having their kids wash their hands, products, especially when out in public places. Monique Riego, 12 News at 10.